I'm Deborah Warwick. I live at Point Frederick near Gosford, and I live here because I love Gosford. It's close to where I work. I can go for a walk down the waterfront every morning with the dog, which I do. It's just a beautiful part of the world, it really is. Love it. I grew up on the Central Coast. I lived at Copacabana with my family, and when I was in my late, I think I was about 18 or 19, I opened the first nail salon in Gosford, which was the first for the Central Coast. I had that for about 6 years, and then I started working in tourism and hospitality. I had my son, and when he was about 18 months old, I started working in retail shopping centres. And I worked in Sydney and Newcastle and the Hunter, and finally came to work at the Imperial Centre about 12 years ago, and I've been there ever since. What really makes me get up and go hard every morning is my motivation to see Gosford come alive again. I grew up around Gosford as a teenager when the Imperial Centre was a really buzzy place, and you could not get a shop front in Gosford in those days. People used to charge key money, and businesses were really sought after, and you know, if you wanted to open a business in those days, you'd be lucky to find something on the upper floor in a little arcade to get started. And of course there's been a lot of development over the years, and it's not just Erina, but there's been satellite centres built everywhere, so they're all over the coast now, and I would really like to see Gosford not necessarily return to what it was then, because it won't be the same as its history, but it has got a future, and I really want to see that healthy future. In terms of draw card for Gosford, I don't think it's going to be any one particular thing. I think it's going to be lots of small things. And I think if you look at examples of other towns and cities, and I'll use Newtown as an example because I spent a lot of time down there. My brother was a publican up the road at Enmore, and I watched the gentrification of Newtown and all the different cultures moving. And it's that eclectic, I think that's where Gosford's opportunities are. Not to try and be what other areas on the Central Coast are, but to bring those communities together, all the different cultures and communities, and give Gosford a flavour that's completely different. We've got a brilliant restaurant with Biblos, and I don't think I've ever been to a restaurant where the people who are there know hospitality and know how to provide service the way that they do. And they're so proud of what they've achieved, and they're doing such a wonderful job, and so much that James Neary is now opening another cafe bakery in William Street, which is part of the Masonic building on the ground floor, and that will specialise in sourdough breads and patisserie cafe, and then at night handmade pasta, so you'll be able to go there and have a really nice Italian meal. And there are some great little new businesses moving into the city. Reviver Bar, which is up where the Crichtons, it was the building that housed the funeral cars, and they've opened up a wine and cocktail bar in there, and it's got the most amazing atmosphere. The community can really get behind the development of Gosford in a couple of ways. One of them, I suppose, is to actually really have a good look around and recognise that the negative things that people say about Gosford aren't all true. There are a lot of positives about Gosford, and people really actually need to sit back and pay attention to what they are. I want to see opportunities throughout the city where we're going to be creating employment opportunities for our young people, keep our young people here on the Central Coast so they don't have to travel away for work or study. They're the opportunities that we have in our city, and they're the things that that's my dream, to see those things realised.